Jay, how has financing your earlier films evolved into how you find money now? Has it gotten easier? Is it still the same animal? It's just a different, I don't know, I'm probably not explaining it correctly, but is it easier now, or it's just a different way, it's still difficult?
I think financing is always difficult. You know, whether you're raising the money, whether you're paying for it yourself, that adds difficulties that are hard to explain. The pressures of that are enormous. Whether it's going to a studio and getting money. If a studio gives you a lot of money, trust me, you will feel it when you're making that film. So I think it's always hard, and it's always a great responsibility, and it's something that I, just because of my personality, never take lightly, so it's always like with me. But that's why I think it's just important to whoever you're collaborating with, whether it's, you know, actors, studio people, investors, whatever it may be, you have to meet minds with them and feel that connection so that everyone's on the same page trying to make the same thing. And that's, I mean, it's interesting, it's kind of a metaphor for the theme of the movie is like, you know, creating family and creating that special nest to do the bold and courageous things that you want to do in your life.
Did you invest your own money with the puffy chair and Baghead?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
So you showed, you know, people that you had your own skin in the game.
Yeah.
Do you think that's important for a lot of people? Because so many people, they say, oh, use other people's money, don't use your own. But don't you think in the beginning, that's probably the best way to prove that you're willing to invest in yourself and take a risk?
Yeah, I think it's helpful to invest your own money into whatever projects that you're doing, you know. That's something that I've always done and that I believe in, and I would never be a part of a project that I wouldn't be willing to invest in as well. But I do think, especially in the beginning, it greenlights your projects and it makes them go faster, you know, and it allows you to explore, and it gives you the freedom to be yourself and to take more chances, you know. So the more, because I think the most difficult thing about making a piece of art is really like figuring out what you're trying to express and to do it in a truthful manner. And if you have a lot of voices in the room before you really know who you are, it might be hard to figure that out.
Where does someone go to figure that out? That's interesting.
Movie sets.
And just be sort of in the background?
No.
Oh.
You got to do your own. I mean, I just personally believe if you want to be a film director, you need to just be a film director. And there's no limitations. All you need is a 5D, you know? You don't even need a 5D. You need an iPhone. I guarantee you, if you make a really fascinating script and shoot it on iPhone, people will watch it, and your next film will be bigger. You know, I think the problem is when people come in expecting to make Apocalypse Now on their first go, you know, it's probably not going to happen, you know. You need to start small and figure yourself out and allow yourself the opportunity to mess up and do it again if you mess up.
And also, you said know who you are. You would only really find that out in sort of the heat of the moment behind the camera with whether it's just two people in a park or...
I think there's something about our culture that has us thinking that we can figure out who we are inside of our heads, but that's not how it happens, or at least that's not how it happened for me. I think the way you figure yourself out is by doing things and by being in relation to other people. And as a filmmaker, the way you figure yourself out is by making things and failing or succeeding and finishing the film and showing it to strangers and seeing how they react to it and how they feel about it. I think that's the only way to really figure out who you are and what you have to offer, because if not, it's just inside of your head. It doesn't really mean anything in the greater context of the world. But we all want to just do it in our heads because it's safer.